Hi everyone, I'm doing my first vlog book review today, and it's on a book that a ton of you recommended to me after I asked for a good book recommendation in my August favorites video, and it is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And so many people left comments on my August favorites video saying that this was the best book that they have read in a really long time, so of course I had to go check it out, and I think that I am the last person in the entire world to ever hear about this book because I had absolutely no idea. I didn't recognize the title, I didn't recognize the author, I had no idea that it was such a popular book until you guys told me about it. So I went to the bookstore and I found this book, and I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I looked at this and I was just like, ugh, this is what they recommended me. Like, something about it just, I don't know, like if you look at it, it doesn't seem that enticing, at least not to me. And then I read the back of the book, which really did not entice me that much either, but so many of you had recommended it that I was just like, I'm going to take their word for it and go home and give it a try. Oh, and I just want to let you guys know I don't plan on spoiling any parts of the book for those of you who haven't read it, so it's safe to watch this review. I'm not going to give away any secret plot twists or anything like that. So when I first heard about the title of this book, I was like, what is that about, The Hunger Games? Like, I was prepared for some book about a girl who has anorexia or, like, plays, like, eating tricks on her mind, like, has an eating disorder of some sort. So when I saw this, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm in for, because clearly it's not about a girl with anorexia, at least unless they have a really misleading cover on it. So what this book is about is a futuristic society of the United States, and I'm assuming that this setting is really far into the future because there is kind of a new government. It's really harsh, it's really strict, it's definitely not a democracy. And there aren't 50 states, there's 12 districts now, so it's set up completely differently. And in the beginning of the book, the main character says that her district is located in a place that used to be called the Rocky Mountains. So the whole country is ruled by this really strict government, and aside from the people who live in the capital city and the government officials, everyone is really poor, they're starving, they work really hard, and it's kind of just a rough lifestyle for everyone. So once a year, the government hosts an event that they call the Hunger Games, and it's kind of like our society's version of the Olympics, except way more brutal because it's a fight to the death. And the government designed this event to remind the country of the control that it has over them and to kind of remind them that they shouldn't try to overthrow the government because they're powerful enough to host an event and make people kill each other. And the contestants for the event are all kids from the ages of 12 to 18. And how they draw the contestants is there are 12 districts, and so they draw 2 from each district, so there's 24 in total. And from each district they choose one boy and one girl. And the participants are chosen at random, but there are ways to increase your chances of being drawn. I'm not going to go into that. It's kind of confusing for just a brief review. So anyway, the main character is chosen to go to the Hunger Games, and it is a fight to the death. Only one person can win of the 24. And they put them in this arena, this man-made arena that's actually probably like 50 square miles of wilderness, and it's rigged, so there's weapons to be found, there's, mines already planted, there's natural disasters, I guess, that occur, and this is way in the future, so they have the technology to actually manipulate such a large area with machines or whatever, and this is all broadcasted live on television, so the entire nation watches as these kids are trying to survive and kill everyone else, and it's kind of a sport for anyone who doesn't have children actually in the arena or know the people who are in the arena. It's kind of, people make bets, and it's a really big ordeal. So anyway, I don't want to give too much away, but the main character goes to the Hunger Games, and this book is really a page-turner once she gets in the arena, and it's actually time to find a way to survive and fight for herself. It's just pretty much impossible to put the book down because you become so absorbed in it. And I think a big reason why I was so hooked into this book is she makes friends with other contestants in the Hunger Games and forms alliances, and you start rooting for more than one person, but only one person can be left standing at the end if they have to fight to the death until one of the 24 lives. So you have no idea how it's going to turn out because suddenly you want, 2 or 3 people to survive, and it's a really good book. So I highly recommend it. I've actually already read the second book in the trilogy. There's a third one that just came out. But it kind of leaves you hanging at the end. It ties up a lot of the loose ends, but it definitely makes you want to run out and grab the next book. I read this entire book yesterday. I think it's almost 400 pages, and I just sat down for about 7 hours and flew through it because it was that good. So I recommend this to pretty much anyone. This is technically a young adult book, but I didn't really pick up any young adult themes in it. Like, it wasn't really cheesy or really played down to like G ratings. So don't feel like if you're older you would find this book kind of like cheesy or childish or anything. I didn't at all. I'm actually going to recommend it to my mom next, and I think that boys and girls alike would love this book. It definitely is kind of, I guess, like a unisex book. It's a story that anyone could like. It's not like it's chick lit or something where most boys probably wouldn't want to read it. I'm going to recommend it to my brother as well. Okay, well, I hope that this review isn't really long. I feel like I kind of rambled a little bit. So let me know if there's any other good book recommendations that you have, especially kind of themed in the way of survival books. I've always really liked survival books, like that one book, Hatchet. I don't remember who wrote it, but it's like the plane crashes and then you have to survive on the island, stuff like that. I've always really liked stories like that. Okay, I'm gonna go now, so I will talk to you guys later.